Hello, my name is Chris, and today I'd like to share with you 4 questions that it might be useful to ask yourself as you prepare for your first day of quitting smoking. Maybe it's the day before, maybe it's a couple of days before, but you know this day is coming when you're like, I am done, my quit starts now. These are 4 questions you could ask yourself to help you get through that day a little bit easier. Because although some of us may find the first day, the second day, the third day easy, some of us don't. Some of us find it a little bit stressful, maybe a lot stressful. And when we are experiencing stress, it is harder to make those good decisions that we need to make for ourselves to keep on that journey. Whereas if we've already thought about these stressful situations in advance, there's less thinking involved. We can sort of put things in place to go, I kind of knew this was going to happen, and I thought about it, planned for it, prepared for it, so I don't really have to think, I just have to do the thing. Those are the kind of things I want to talk about in today's video. Before I do, just another reminder, our next monthly live stream is Saturday, March 26 at 6:30 p.m. UK time, other US time zones, and a link to where the live stream will be hosted are down in the description below, and there's a link to where the live stream will be hosted in the card above as well. That is March 26. Today is whatever the heck day it is. We're talking about preparing to quit smoking. So let's get on with it. The first question that we need to ask ourselves is simply, what, if anything, do I need to clear out of my home so that I am not reminded of smoking during my quit, and so that it isn't easy for me to just go and have a cigarette? I made a video recently, one of my 5-minute quit smoking tips, when I talked all about the things that we can clean up and get rid of in our homes. Starting with any cigarette ends, cigarette stumps that might be in the ashtray. We need to throw those in the bin. Not just in the waste paper bin, not just in the pedal bin in the kitchen, but outside in the garbage so that the garbage man can take them away from us. Because if you're anything like me, I know that when I quit smoking, I was not beyond trying to quit smoking, recognizing that I might have had like a little bit of a cig stump left somewhere, and going fishing it out and smoking it. It was disgusting, but I was desperate, and it's what I did. I'm not proud of it. So I would have to get rid of that stuff. Do I have lighters and ashtrays and things that are going to trigger that, cause like a visual reminder of, I'm a little bit stressed, oh yeah, there's smoking that I could do. Get rid of those. Get rid of any cigarettes in the house because we don't need them. We don't need to. There's no reason, if we are non-smokers, if we are becoming non-smokers, there is no reason to have cigarettes in our house. You know, obviously there's an exception to every rule. Yeah, but Chris, I live with a smoker and they have cigarettes. Well, yeah, but they're not yours. And it's a case of recognizing they're not mine, but anything that is mine, I'm going to get rid of, or at least put out of the way. So the first question is simply, what can I get rid of? How can I give myself the best fighting chance of success? Because I've got anything that I can smoke in my house, I'm probably, if I'm not doing great, going to at least think about smoking it, right? And the less things I have in my house, the harder it is, because there's more opportunities for me to change my mind if I have to get up and physically go and buy cigarettes or bum one off someone. So what do I need to get rid of that's going to give me the best chance of success? That is question number 1. Question number 2 is, what am I going to do when I wake up in the morning? Especially if you're finding that that first cigarette in the morning is the hardest to resist, it's the hardest to get past. It always seems to be, I get up in the morning, and I've tried to quit smoking in the past, but I get my coffee and I sit down, and then I wonder where the hell my cigarette is, and then the coffee increases all my jitters and my anxiety, and it causes me to crave a cigarette. Well, what am I going to do differently? If my normal routine is to get up, pour the coffee, have a smoke, drink the coffee and have another smoke, can I have a nice fresh glass of water when I first wake up in the morning? Can I commit to having less caffeine or even no caffeine? Instead of diving straight into things or reading the news and getting myself all worked up about the terrible state of the world, can I take some time out to meditate, to practice breathing exercises, even just to sit and chill and read a book? Can I do some exercise, go for a walk, ride my bike? What can I do instead of my usual routine to give myself the best possible chance of just getting past that morning, just getting past that occasion when quitting smoking is at its toughest? Because I think for many of us that can be the case, that the hardest one is in the morning. And even if it isn't, when we set ourselves up with a new routine, we're doing ourselves a favour, because we're telling ourselves, well, things are different, I'm doing something different, cigarettes are not part of my life now, and they don't have to be part of my life for the rest of my day either. The third question that we can ask ourselves as we prepare to quit smoking is, what is my day going to be like? If I am quitting smoking tomorrow, what is my day going to be like? What are the challenges that I may face as someone who is quitting smoking? If I was going to think about my day tomorrow, I would think, well, I'm going to be spending a lot of time sat at my laptop working. And I remember very, very clearly that I'd try and quit smoking, and I'd be doing some work, and a little craving would come on, and I wouldn't be able to focus on my work, and I'd get really distracted, and it'd be awful, and I'd end up bouncing off the walls, not knowing what to do. So I might think, well, okay, I'm going to spend all day working. So if that does occur where I feel like I can't focus and concentrate on my work, what can I do instead? Well, maybe I can, when I feel myself not being able to focus, instead of just sitting there and trying to power through it and making myself feel even worse, maybe I can get up and take a break, breathe, do a little physical activity, something like that. Maybe my challenge is, I've got to go to this thing that always stresses me out, and I always need to have a cigarette first because otherwise I can't cope. Well, in that case, what can I do instead of smoking to help me get through that situation? I know that tomorrow I've got my morning commute and I get stuck in traffic and it stresses me out, and that's when I smoke a cigarette. Okay, so I recognise that this might be a challenge for me. What can I do instead? To simply ask ourselves, what are the challenges I might face? What can I do when those challenges occur? Because like I said earlier, when those cravings and things come on, it can make us stressed out. When we are stressed, we are less capable of making the right decision sometimes. We revert to default, we revert to what's familiar to us. We pick up a cigarette because it's easier, and it takes less mental effort and it takes less mental energy to pick up a cigarette than it does to do something that is good and helpful to us. Whereas if we have prepared to go, okay, I knew this might happen, I'm actually ready for it, I don't really need a lot of mental energy, all I need to do is do the thing that I've already said I'm going to do. And the fourth and final question is, how am I going to be kind to myself? How am I going to treat myself and reward myself for getting through this day? What can I do to lower my stress levels and feel a little calmer and more content? Because the more stressed we are, the more worked up we are, the more tired we are, again, it's going to be much, much harder to make those good decisions. So what can I do on my quit date to be kind to myself? Can I even go so far as to take a day off work and sit at home and just chill out and watch movies, or do whatever we want to do? Is the thing that is good for me to take a nice long hot bubble bath when I get home from work? Do you know what? I've just done a whole day at work without cigarettes. I deserve a bloody good bubble bath, or I deserve a nice meal, or I deserve to phone a friend, or I deserve a date with my partner, or I deserve to do some exercise because that is good for me. What can I do to be kind to myself and reward myself for getting through that day? And that in itself can help us get through the day. Oh, do you know what? I'm really tense right now. Oh, the cigarette craving is on me. And I don't know what to do, but if I know I can get through it, because all I have to do is get through this craving, which is probably only going to last like 20 minutes anyway, at most. If I can get through this next 20 minutes and I can just do that to the end of my workday, I've got a really nice bubble bath looking, in my future. I've got a really nice meal in my future. I've got this in my future. I've got that in my future. I can look something to look forward to. Keeps us in a more positive frame of mind. We're not spending the whole day going, this is terrible, this is terrible, this is terrible. Because the more we tell ourselves this is terrible, Chris, why are you bouncing like that? I have no idea. The more we tell ourselves this is terrible, the more we're working ourselves up into this state of stress and anxiety and worry and fear and doubt and all these other things, and the more likely we are to smoke. Whereas if we're spending our day going, oh yeah, at the end of this day I get to do something really cool, I get to reward myself, I get to do something good and kind for myself, and I'm looking forward to that. And that can help us get through any tough day. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful, useful, or just distracting for the last however many minutes it has been. If you would like more quit smoking tips, advice, guidance and support, I crammed a whole lot of them into this book. It is called Quit Smoking and Be Happy, available in print and ebook form from Amazon. If you have got the book, as I always say, if you could consider leaving me a review, I would find it incredibly helpful, and it would be a great way to support me in the work that I do. If you would rather me support you than the other way round, I can do that. I do offer one-to-one quit smoking support programs, which you can find out more about at cjstherapy.com. If you click on services, scroll down to stop smoking support, all of the information is right there, including how much it costs, how it works, what we need to do, and yes, we can do it online via Zoom or anything else. And of course, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel but you find these videos helpful, please do consider hitting subscribe, and I'll make more videos for you on a weekly basis. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time.